shit?
Woo!
Alright, that's the type of energy that I was looking for. I want to raise a hand. Who wants to talk about some kinky shit?
Woo!
Keep your hands up. I need a volunteer. Oh, so the hands are down. Oh, you're still up. I'm ready to play. It's okay, you can put your hands down. I wouldn't want to come up to the stage with a crazy lady holding a needle in her hand without talking about what we were actually going to do first. On a much lighter note. Who here likes to shovel food in their face? Anybody a fan of sleeping in?
Woo!
Who here likes to have sex? Ow! These three things have something in common. They are fucking normal. I want to get to the part where I can talk about sex with anybody without that raised eyebrow reaction anymore. The title of this talk is called Consensual Kink, because this is a normal thing in our human experience. The things that we're going to talk about today is going to be normalizing pleasure-seeking behaviors, and then we're actually going to get into having tact with having the first conversation with somebody. We're going to give you some advice, and then we're going to show you what it looks like to navigate through a very kinky scene. Some of the goals that we have for this talk is for you guys to keep an open mind. Some things might push you a little bit more than you were expecting. So I really just want to make sure that if something feels uncomfortable for you, that you realize that you don't know what you don't know. So please keep that open mind. Another thing that I really, really want to drive home today is this talk is called Consensual Kink. So we want to make sure that this is pleasurable for all parties involved. My name is Momo. I've been going to kink events since 2009, back when I was 19 years old. I just graduated at 30 last week. Woo! I'm so happy to not be in my 20s anymore. Thank God. Sorry for those of you that are. It's really fun, I promise. Kink to me is something that pushes me physically, emotionally, and sexually. It's something where I get a new experience, and that is what my whole life is all about. So, I want to introduce somebody who's taught me most of what I know in this community, and that's Justin. He hates rounds of applauses, so we're going to give that to him. Woo!
Thank you. So, I'm Justin. I go by BioOrigin online or like I get involved in various kink-related things, education most of my adult life, mainly in the area of shibari, Japanese rope bondage. I've also researched on some of the subjects and have done lectures in education for probably just the last decade.
Thank you, Justin. Just because he hates it, let's give him another round of applause. You're welcome. Going on to our first topic of normalizing pleasure-seeking behavior. I've thought about what would it feel like to never have sex your entire life. Man, that would suck, right? Sex has an effect on our self-esteem, our mental, emotional, and physical body. So, sex is as common as eating, sleeping. We all gotta fuck, right? I know I've been guilty of saying, man, that person really needs to get laid. Because you know what? They probably do. You can go 3 weeks without eating food before you might literally die of starvation. 3 days for water. And you might be thinking, Momo, you could go your whole life without having sex and you'd survive. That's true, but that's not a life that I would want to live. One of the things beyond just having sex, because I'm going to guess you guys have probably had sex before, is that right? Do you guys have fantasies? How many of you have that one fantasy that you haven't acted on? to use a fork and a knife, right? To nourish your body. What about when it comes to sex? Who teaches you about that? When you're losing your virginity and you're in the room, is there someone in there showing you how to use your utensils? That'd be kind of weird, right? So guys, how do we figure out about sex? The men really know this one. We do it in an incognito mode. We clear our browser history. If I die, will you go into my computer, make sure all that shit is gone? That is so embarrassing. I have a fantasy. And I have had the pleasure of dating multiple people who also have my same fantasy. I'm gonna warn you, it's a little taboo. I'm really into age play, and if you don't know what that is, it's where you set an environment where you're either much older or much younger than you actually are. I prefer to play a much younger female. I love the dominance, and I love the consent and reluctance. This is something, there's some people over here that are into this. Hey! Very good. I'm going to tell you a story about a man that I dated. This person, when we first went to go have sex, I did really, really like him. I still do. We're still friends today. When we went to go have sex, he couldn't perform. Instead of ridiculing him for it, we sat and we talked and we got down to the problem. And he also had my fantasy, but he had so much shame. And what made him tick, he was too embarrassed to ever talk about it. He got that raised eyebrow reaction when I brought it up first. So instead of going straight back into the bedroom, trying to do... Oh no! Pretty loud. Then he got it in his head one day, and he really, really didn't want his daughter to have this lifestyle of misery that he was experiencing. And so he knew that he really loved her, and he really did. This story changed my ex's life. He went from having literally debilitating sex to where he couldn't have a full erection for years, to us having tantalizing and creative sex. You guys might need to just come in a little closer. Can you guys hear my lettuce?
Yes! Not really.
Alright, here it is again. Alright, we'll keep it going. We got this. So, when it comes to these taboo topics, one of the things that I really want to stretch after sharing that story is that all people need to be able to consent, legal definition and of legal age, and all parties need to be consenting. I want to let you know that that man is now happily married, and we are still friends. Going back to the question, what's in your browser history? What a porn, he says. That makes sense. What about incognito mode? So, when it comes to when you're watching porn, that could be the end experience that you're looking for. It doesn't mean that you have to go out and watch whatever type of porn you like and experience that with another person, right? So BDSM, this is a kink talk. That's bondage, discipline, dominance, sadomasochism. Nowhere in that definition does it say that you have to have intercourse with somebody. Another thing that I'm really into is suspension. The really big part about suspension is you have to have trust with your partner. If I don't trust that if the rope is too tight around my arm and that I'm about to pass out, that my partner will take me down. That's something where I need to be in control as the submissive. I need to trust that there is enough technical skill behind the rope play to where we can move forward with this, because it's something that can actually hurt you once you start diving deep into these things. The goal is to have multiple different forms of pleasurable experiences, and my partner Justin is going to talk on what those different types of pleasurable experiences can be.
Oftentimes, when we're discussing this, especially as adults, but pleasure-seeking behavior, it really comes down to a pretty reductive definition of trying to get laid. There are whole industries based around trying to explain to people how to get laid, why they were getting laid, everything else. But that's a very limiting definition, as many versions of people come up with a way to say it. As she said, commonly you hear the term BDSM, which would be bondage, discipline, submission, or sadism and masochism. So those are things which restrain your body, restrain your mind, or cause a person to receive strong sensation or produce strong sensation. Oftentimes, you can also look at that throughout the area or take the common ways of pleasure seeking. And that really is part of almost anything non-sexual.
Yeah.
Enjoying a movie, beautiful day.
Anybody sitting here?
There's
No? We share this with you?
Yes.
Listening to music is a very common one. But it can also include things which restrain your senses. Different types of sensory deprivation, blindfold, earmuffs, gloves that limit what you can feel. Or, and then what we're talking about are going to be things that are oftentimes quite taboo or deviant or exotic. Even though a lot of these practices basically go back in humankind as long as we've been humans. One of the oldest practices religiously is ecstatic meditation. This is things like
Why do you say that?
ecstatic dancing, suspension, things which basically cause such a reaction in your central nervous system that they literally shift the way your brain processes information or your perceived information. At this point in history, we have all sorts of substances that can make your brain light up in a myriad of very entertaining ways. In the old days, you had to whip yourself till you saw God, or hang from a tree, something along those lines. And today these are oftentimes considered odd, deviant, but there is a very long history within human nature of seeking pleasure in these manners. And we are very adapted to it physically and psychologically.
Speaking of being adaptable and pleasure-seeking behavior, one of the things that we want is to enjoy ourselves to where our partners can also enjoy themselves. Speaking of letting your partners enjoy themselves, let's move on to our next topic. So that's having the first conversation. Some of the people who are shy in the audience might learn a thing or two about approaching people. So, say after this talk, you take your new wealth of information about kink and you expose everything that's in your browser history, right? You're super excited about it. You look across and you see someone ordering a drink at the bar. You're going to muster up the courage to talk to them and start that conversation. Before you do that, there's a conversation with someone else that you need to have, and that's yourself first. I have an action item for you guys. I want you to take pen and paper and actually write down, what is it that you like? How are you going to communicate that to somebody else if you haven't thought about what it is that makes you tick? Write down 10 different things. That's something that will make it much easier to bring it up in a conversation with somebody else in the future. I had a pet. It followed me around on 4 legs and mostly just liked to wear furry reindeer. So this was a person who was originally a platonic friend. And then that person ended up becoming my roommate, and they saw that our house was very kink friendly. They had previous experiences with having a dog, and seeing the way that we interacted, she asked, Momo, will you be my dog? Ah, yeah, it was great. We got to negotiate what that relationship would look like. We talked about it. I loved her enthusiasm and I loved her honesty. She also listed off all the things that she was into. She knew what she liked. She liked butt plug tails, she liked food on her skin, and she really was into public humiliation, which that's going right up my alley. If you've ever hung out with me, I'm a prankster. So, one of my... Alright, are you seeing that? Great. One of my favorite memories with my pet was taking her on blind sushi dates. We'd give her a collar, a leash. We would blindfold her before she ever got in the car. It was really fun walking into those restaurants. The whole place would stop and it would look something like what I see right now. Just literally everybody staring at you. Sometimes the crowd would play along. One time we had a guy shout out, "Welcome to Casino, Arizona!" She was really confused. She's like, "What the fuck, Momo? I'm hungry. I thought you were taking me out to eat sushi." This is a level of honesty that we've been able to have with ourselves. I like attention, and that's okay. She likes attention too. She was able to get really honest with herself and communicate that. There's one little piece about my pet that I didn't tell you guys about, and that was she was originally born a man. So her level of honesty, that came from years of isolation, with her having to figure out and go through the transition, which does not happen overnight, and comes with rejection from family and friends, in order to be true to herself. Even though I led her into restaurants, and when we would walk through, it was fun, without the chain, and without somebody leading her, every day that she walks in, she has to be honest and true to herself.
Yeah. You.
Going along with that, there's a wealth of information on all of these subjects. But before you start really looking into any of them, you really have to at least looking into them for yourself or having a discussion with another person. You really have to get an understanding of what your personal hang-ups are. There's a lot of things that are broadly social, and some of them have historical. Some of them have historical reasons, but there's still things that they color your way that you take in and perceive information, and you have to have an understanding of it. Now, these things can be internal or external. They can be things that you're conscious of or don't actually have a word for. They're things that can come from authority figures. If you looked at something like, you really want filthy toes in your mouth. This is a very common fetish, but lots of people have it, though not a lot of people talk about it because there's a lot of taboos against it. But an example of an internal hang up on that you might actually even have an intellectual reason for it.
I probably would.
You can think that it's gross. Toes are dirty.
Yeah.
You don't want to put that in your mouth, or there's a good reason not to. You still want to. There's just that hindbrain. You can't actually identify what the feeling is, but you know something about it makes you uncomfortable. Again, it doesn't really tell you that you don't want to. It can also be something that comes from what you perceive as some form of an authority figure. Like, if I were to tell anyone about my desire to have filthy feet in my mouth, I would get locked up. This is deviant behavior. I'd be institutionalized. Or at least my psychiatrist would have a very long conversation. Or it can actually come laterally from your peers. I don't want to tell my friends about all the things I want to have trampled onto my face because they're going to think I'm disgusting. They won't want to talk to me. They'll throw me out of the party. They won't share their drugs with me anymore. And there is a real risk to these. But those are all things that you have to at least be aware of when you start looking into this. Otherwise, all you're going to see is your hang-ups. what your actual information is and what you know on these subjects.
You don't know what you don't know.
Or as Plato paraphrased Socrates, I only know that I know so little.
Yes.
But having an understanding of kind of your depth of knowledge and what have you. Most people have a group of beliefs that they know just because they believe it's true. Canada is the greatest country on earth, and we're going to make Canada great. You don't actually know why, but you're pretty sure at your core. It's a core belief that that's just true. Many of our prejudices are rooted this way, along with a lot of our hero worship. But yet, whenever you are examining one of your own beliefs, you also have to look at, have you ever tested it? Do you have facts behind it? Or is it just, you know that something's gross, or you know that something's pleasurable?
I'm wondering what's falling out.
Can you look into that belief and see that point in your life where it started? Was it in school? Was it with a parent, church, a traumatic event, a really pleasurable event? And people have many untested assumptions about themselves. A lot of people believe that they could win any fight until they find out very violently that they can't. And the reason behind doing a lot of this is not really to take the wind out of your own sails. It's because you're trying to basically build a framework and understand where your knowledge is and what you need to learn and what you want to learn. Did you guys see Momo?
I want to learn about needle play. So it looks like we're going a little over time, so I'm going to go back to something that's a little more tangible for the shy people in the crowd. And this is how to break the ice. Small talk, having the first conversation. So I can't promise that you're going to be a better flirt, but I am going to give you some tools. I'm also a board member of what's called the Bureau of Erotic Discourse. We work at Burning Man directly with emergency services, talking about consent as a direct way to try and prevent rape. We have a very simple saying, and the reason why we have a simple saying is because when you go and you're trying to pursue someone who's a stranger, you can get the static all over your head. Let's keep things simple. All you have to do is walk up and say, "Hey, how's it going?" It sounds retardedly dumb, but this actually works. "Hey, how's it going? My name's Momo, what's your name?" Take out all the rest of that static. What do you do from there? I'm going to give you 5 tools that are going to help you with an open dialogue conversation. Who, what, when, where, and why. These will promote the other person to open up and talk about themselves and stop one-word answers like yes or no questions. Hey, what did you really like about the talk? Who was your favorite performer? Why? If someone's giving you one-word answers, what do you think that means?
They don't always want to talk to your ass.
Thank you, Justin. Which it's true, right? If they don't want to talk to you, move on. You're not that invested. If you're in a relationship and you already know the who, what's, when's, where's, and why's about that person, what we can start doing is that challenge that I had to you. Pen, paper. Figure out what it is that you like. Take that, and this is important, not to the bedroom. Go to a bar. Go grab some coffee. See what's going to be something that is going to be a match for you guys. And if you guys are having trouble, there's a really awesome board game called Monogamy, and it will get those questions going for you and eventually get you going. You're welcome. So we are running a little short on time. Let's skip over to some of our main weeks. Well, we were going to talk about consensual tea, so I thought that there was a tea ceremony afterwards.